Happy birthday.
Thank you, yeah. It's my 70th trip around planet Earth.
How's it feel?
Feels fine. I like birthdays. 70, I'm feeling good. So great to be amongst friends. So yeah, feeling good.
Big party.
Yeah, big party. Well, yeah, but not too big.
Right.
You know. And what's good is I didn't have to organize it.
Yeah.
I'm here just to relax, enjoy it. All my friends take charge of the details. As you all may know, I'm an activist. I like to take action to make the world a better place. So if you're feeling so inspired, I need to help some group. We have 350 is a group that I'm actively involved in, a leadership team, who I think is doing the best climate change work on this planet. It's an awesome group. And of course, the group that I have worked with for years, CAL, Community Alliance of Lane County, where I just retired from, is doing the kind of peace and justice work to ensure that there is justice on this planet. That's another option for you as well. There's two different jars, but Sue, do we know where? Okay, Sue, I need my logistics person, Sue, to help me on that. And I've been doing this activist work for a long, long time. And this is going to be bringing as much joy to my heart as any other action or meeting I've attended my entire life. So thank you again for coming out here tonight. Together we can make the world a better place. Together we can stop climate change and save this planet, because all of you are here. Thank you.
On the day that Michael was born, on the day that Michael was born, on the day that Michael was born, the fairies sang, and they raised up their arms, and they danced, they smiled, and they raised up their arms, on the day that Michael was born.
Oh, good. Yes. It's Gwen's birthday time now.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gwen. Happy birthday to you.
Way over here.
Also, we thought we might do a little bit of roasting of Gwen and Michael now. I could start it off. I've actually only known Michael for about 35 years, so. But what I hear from his family, he comes from this big, huge Irish family. He's got his mom and 5 aunties, and all of them had cousins about the age of each one of the kids. They all had 4 or 5 kids, and each one of the cousins had, people that in their age group. And they used to all get together every Sunday at their grandparents' house and run around. And Michael actually ran through the. I know you'll all be surprised by this, but he a few times actually ran right through the door, the window. But luckily, he never really hurt himself. Only once. But it's possibly it was only once. Okay. The other thing is that in his family, he just went back and saw them all last summer, and a lot of them don't talk to each other, but they all talk to him. And he was like the peacemaker in the family, probably from the time he was born. And then, so anyways, Michael moved here because some of his friends were living here in Eugene. Colgate friends from where he went to college. None of them that live here anymore. Steve Long. But then, so he moved here, and then eventually, and he worked at Cal. He volunteered at Calc, and he traveled a lot. He moved to Portland for a while. He worked at Oregon Peace Works with Peter Burgell. Then he moved back here, and then you all have known him now for a long time too. Now.
Sue, when did we meet?
Oh, okay. All right. So I guess some people like to know that Michael and I met at the country fair. In the Peace and Justice booth for about 10 years. Michael was so shocked the first year that I was in Peace and Justice booth with Martha Evans. And I don't know if you guys all know that booth. So Martha and I took the back part of the booth. It was like, don't you want to fight for the front of the booth? We're like, no, we're fine. And then we put all our stuff up, and then we were volunteering for WAND, Women's Action for New Directions. Back there it was Women Against Nuclear, Women's Alliance for Nuclear Disarmament. So anyway, we put all our stuff up, we left for a while, we came back, and Michael said, oh, somebody came by and gave a donation to you guys. He kept it. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. And he gave it to us. But anyway, so we were friends for about 10 years. And then one time we were at the country fair, and I'd broken up with my partner, Mark Bouvier, and Michael was
a good lad.
A good lad. Michael calls Mark his predecessor. And so anyway, Michael and I just looked at each other in a different way. It may have been partially the marijuana brownie. Jen?
I remember that time and you telling me about this man who was, and I said, but does he cherish you? And you said, yes.
And I still cherish it.
And then I wanted a kid, and he was a confirmed bachelor, but he likes to travel, so he was willing to go to India to get the kid.
Oh, a trip involved. Oh, okay.
And anyway, we've been together ever since. All right, now who else would like to tell us some stories?
The roasting is not just approved, but encouraged.
The night you met Michael at the country fair,
Come on.
was he wearing a blue wig?
Yes, the night that Michael and I kind of got together at the country fair, he was wearing a blue wig that Deborah dressed him in.
And I saw him on the lot the next morning, and I thought Michael's having a good time somewhere.
It's a country fair, right?
The wig was in the mud. You wasted the wig.
All right, Michael, I told you I was going to roast you. So here we go. I haven't known Michael as long as a lot of people. And about 15 years ago, I was cross-country skiing by myself, and I'm at Midnight Lake off the Pacific Crest Trail, and who comes there but Michael and Sue? So we talked, and at some point, I politely offered to smoke some of my marijuana with them, and they said no. And I thought, uh-oh, did I just commit a faux pas? Nah, we know better than that. So that not too long after that, my wife, who was here, Lori, she's not really an activist, but we went to some event that was organized by Michael and Kauk, and we ended up holding the banner, marching right in front of the group, and our picture ended up on the front of some minor periodical, and we're still married. Lori and I are still married, so it didn't... And it's not the last time that my face has ended up on some periodical because of my association. Yeah, my association with Michael. So lately we've been doing a lot of skiing and camping, backpacking. We did a wonderful backpack trip right into the middle of the Three Sisters, where we drank out of a mountain stream and watched some beautiful sunsets. And then, you know, when we're in these beautiful places, occasionally we will do some mind-expanding substances. And then we'll lapse into our fake Irish brogue. And that's right, he said, yeah, right, he doesn't think it's fake. But, and he'll say, you know, it's not good to hike behind a Carrigan. And I'll say, well, it's not good to hike with a Murphy after he's been drinking whiskey. And
I'm also a Murphy, yeah.
So most people during this pandemic, they don't know, like, if they got COVID, like where they got it or who they got it from. I do. Yeah, right there. This guy. Yeah. So we were to go hiking, and he forgot to tell me till I showed up that morning that, oh, my housemate has COVID. So we talked about it. We decided to go anyway. We had a great time. The next day, Michael's ill. He tests positive for COVID, so I knew it was just a matter of time. So anyway, I survived COVID, you know, wasn't so great. You know, the hike was fun, but, you know, COVID and the hike, I don't think I'd do it over again. But
I would.
when it comes to all the adventures we've had, all the skiing, all the camping, backpacking, watching sports, yeah, I wouldn't trade that for anything.
My name is Peter Burgell, and I was Michael's successor as director of Oregon Peaceworks. But I want to start actually by talking about Gwen, whom I've known a lot longer. I've known Michael a long time, but I've known Gwen for 49 years. And the way we met was she was in the original cast of Dr. Atomic's Medicine Show. How many people here know what Dr. Atomic? Oh, good. Well, this is our 48th year of Dr. Atomic's Medicine Show. We'll be performing once again at the Country Fair this year, and a few shows in Salem before we come there. But anyway, Gwen was quite a young woman at the time, and we turned her into our narrator for a show that was all about what happens when Cool Hand Nuke comes to town. And I want to tell you, that summer we went all over the state of Oregon, and we performed at every place where they were planning to have a nuclear power plant. Boo. And I'm proud to say that none of those nuclear plants were ever built, and we take complete credit, right? All right, anyway, that was 1974.
Wow.
Can I add to that?
Sure.
Well, I want to add that in 1980, Peter and Chuck Johnson were the petitioners, is that what they're called? You're the lead petitioners, or what? For the authors of the ballot measure in 1980 to stop nuclear power plants in Oregon. Yeah, Peter is half of that or more, making that happen, because it passed 52 52 to 47%. You know, and what is important to know about that is the last 4 years, every year the legislature is asked to do away with that ballot measure. So we have, talked back to have presented testimony to the environmental, economic, subcommittee to, not pass this bill. Oh, and we killed him? We killed him this time.
And another thing to know about that ballot measure is we were outspent by the pro-nuclear forces 22 to 1. And we beat them anyway. Why? Because all of you people got involved with it, right? That's right. Okay, so that's Gwen. So that's my original connection with Gwen. Now Michael here, he was director of Oregon Peaceworks at a very important time because right before he became director of Oregon Peaceworks, the Soviet Union collapsed. And everybody said, oh, okay, so we don't need to worry about nuclear weapons anymore. That's going to be cool. Anyway, so he was confronting the problem of being part of the director of a peace group at a time when nobody thought that peace was even an issue anymore because it was going to be peaceful from here on out because the main adversary was gone. So Michael actually saved Oregon Peaceworks by turning it into an environmental organization for a while.
Yeah, that's right. So Michael, I know mostly as the ski buddy. So we start in the morning. Michael gets to my house and he's like, I need coffee. I'm not a morning person. I'm a night person. And I'm like, well, skiing starts early in the morning. And then every day it's also like, oh, and I can't smoke weed until I put my boots on because that's going to screw it all up. And we spend our days flying around in the woods. Fortunately, we're both good skiers, so we don't hit the trees that we ski through. But we have this beautiful time floating like through the powder like fairies. And it's really an amazing thing. And we act like 11-year-olds. And Michael is about 24 superheroes, but they all use the Batman theme song. And then there's some superhero name that comes out. And it's just a fun and ridiculous time that we have. And one of my favorite stories, because Michael, who has the Lusies, one year we were in Willamette Pass, he said, somebody stole my wallet. Oh my gosh, somebody went in my car and stole my wallet. And a year later, he found his wallet in his car. It was great. He had 2 wallets at that time. Still had money in it and everything. So when Michael's freaking out, I was like, look at your car. And then the really kind thing I want to say, one of the beautiful things that is a real story of life. A few years I helped Michael be one of the peacekeepers at the Women's March. And radical time, but we're in Eugene, and the first thing we saw was the captain motorcycle cop walk up, and he hugged Michael on the street in front of the federal building, and I was like, this is what we've done, where we as hippies are hugging the cops because they're on our side. Yeah, maybe. And we walked down the street further, and strangely, I saw a friend of mine who now wears a uniform, and in the middle of the street, because we went a different way, I got to hug a cop in the street. So that one day, because of this peace work that Mike was a big part of and all of this energy here, the cops in our town are not against us, and it's beautiful. And we're the long hairs and we're the radicals, and they're the ones that were out there saying, we're supporting you. If anything's going down, call us quickly because we'll be the guys. You don't have to be the guys. And it was a really beautiful thing. It's really one of those points of like, wow, the world has changed. So now
we did what we planned to do. They didn't take that away from us. It worked. It worked out.
Yay!
No, he's so right. There's a way of doing it where you respect them. And let's talk about it. But you still do the shit you're planning to do. And so, at the same time, they knew what we were. Yeah, there was respect there. but we still worked hard for, against climate change, for peace, whatever. But they just appreciated that I was willing to talk with them. And so, but it's, we had some great action, so.
Yeah. So, wanted to do. Here we go, to the world spin around and all the things that this room and here Michael has done for the good of all sorts of things. And when I was a young man, it wasn't easy to be the long hair that I am, and I stayed. And the world is a much better place. And so thank you, Michael. Thanks all the other people that really did that action here. We all did our little parts in some ways, and some people did big parts. So,
Together.
Happy birthday, Michael. Thank you.
Great adventures. Help keep me alive, keep me safe. We have a great time together.
Oh, and one last little stupid roast. Not too many years ago, Michael and I found ourselves up at Rosary Lake. As it was getting dark, the wind was blowing about 60 miles an hour. We did have one flashlight. We made it home. It was great. We felt intrepid. We felt great. Sue was really happy when we got back to the cabin. She was like, you guys should have been back an hour ago. We were like, oh well. We had one flashlight between us. It was great. We were only like 3 miles in the woods.
So the other sport that hasn't been mentioned that Michael engages in is kayaking. So my adventure with Michael was with the kayak. I'm still recovering. I have PTSD over this event. Anyway, we put in Springfield on the Willamette. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a helmet on. I should have had a helmet on. Anyway, making our way, and we get down to the Austin footbridge, and I got dumped, and I ended up floating down the river for about 20 minutes or so. Oh my God. Separate from my kayak. But who took care of the kayak? Now, I was not in great shape, but I was okay. Floating down, making sure I didn't get hurt. But Michael took care of the kayak. And all by himself. I don't know how he did it. He stayed in his and he took care of mine at the same time, which was really awesome. And finally we got to a place where we could get out of the water. And I was just like, what a relief. Oh my God, I got my kayak. Michael's okay, I'm okay. Holy moly, this is incredible. We made it. And then we continued on down the river, but I am too scared to go back out again. Oh well.
A lake. We'll go to a lake.
Oh yeah, I go to the lakes, but rapids on the river without a helmet, oh man. Anyway, I made it. Thank you.
I'm glad you made it, yeah.
All right, my name is Horst. I kayak with Michael quite a bit, and I didn't know what was going on here, and I thought I dig up some old photos, and this is a run we did together. It is on the North Santiam River. It's a pack saddle run, and Spencer's Hole is the biggest one there, and Michael is just flying through. And then later on, we went through Carnival, and below that, both of us ended up swimming in a rapid that doesn't even have a name. So. I forgot to mention. Yeah, Michael had asked me to say my name. My name is Horst.
Yes. Bringing the Dalai Lama to town. How many years ago was it? 2013, and it was just one of the highlights of my activist life. So, how many of you here got to see the Dalai Lama when he came? Okay. Because, he came, because this is a special place. We live, I think, in a really special place, in a special state. And good things like that happen, like kayaking down some of the most beautiful rivers in the world, having the Dalai Lama come to town, leading efforts to stop nuclear power plants in this state and nuclear weapons. There's amazing good things that we've done thanks to all the people in this room. And so having my 70th birthday, it's possible because of all of you. And I'm not retiring from my activism.
And we were naked in a lake. Didn't we meet naked in Scott Lake or somewhere like that? And Sue was there too. And Michael always flirted with all the other women. No, just kidding. Anyways, and so we've been friends ever since. Had many great summers at Scott Lake, exploring lakes, being naked, swimming, eating, listening to every year across the Great Divide. Had to play at every campfire. So, anyways, I'm so appreciative to know Michael, being in the Peace and Justice booth, him supporting my music. In fact, you know, I had a lot of stage fright, and Michael said, well, I want you to sing at this rally. And I had never been in front of that many people, and it was like in 2003 or something, and it was an anti-Iraq war rally, and there were 7,000 people. And I was terrified, but Michael believed in me, and we sang the songs. And I'm so grateful, and that we were able to do something. And thank you, Michael. Yes, thank you for everything, and being such a fun friend, you know? Like, you know, he doesn't really get mad, you know? At least I haven't seen it. Have you seen him get mad? No. He gets even. Yeah. I mean, things just roll off, and then we're just off doing something good. Like, he's off, like, doing something else for somebody else, and to make a difference in the world. And so it really made me having to look at some of my pettiness and things like that, because Michael is just wonderful. So, and also he helped with the whole Dalai Lama's visit here, and that was just so helpful, and I'm so grateful for that, and hope we get to go hiking and swimming naked and all the things that we love to do. Yes, let's go. Scott Lake, Benson Lake, all those hidden lakes that we would bushwhack in. Yeah, anyways, come join us in the summer. We'll be naked.
And we went up to Benson Lake, and then we decided, it was like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Really, did everything wrong. Michael was wearing mainly cotton, and we decided to hike all the way around. And we did. We hiked quite far, but then all of a sudden we couldn't find the trail. So then we decided we would go back the way we came, but it was getting later in the afternoon. And I said, I wish I had my flashlight. And he said, don't worry, I've got my cell phone. And I didn't say, yeah, but how much charge do you have on your cell phone? So we made it till it was getting darker. It was starting to get dark. It was a beautiful hike. Lots of
Did you find
huckleberries.
Have you found the trail again?
Yeah, we went back the way we came. And we ate a lot of huckleberries, we watched the sunset, it was just lovely. And it started to rain quite hard. Michael's in his cotton. And then it got dark. And then we turned on the flashlight, we kept going. We made it we were about a mile from our campsite. And when the flashlight went dead. And it's pouring rain, extremely dark. We're like crawling down the path, feeling for it. Every once in a while going off the path, coming back. Meanwhile, our housemate Jane's back at camp, worrying about us, going around to all the other campsites, and they're like, oh, that's too bad they're missing it. Yeah, I'll help you in the morning look for them. Yeah. And she goes to one place. Anyway, she goes to one place, and this guy goes, okay, what were they wearing? Where did they go? Exactly. And he goes, well, you know, I'm a search and rescue guy. So he went out. Nice. He had his backpack. He had a great big flashlight. He had his little camp stove in case we needed hot water to warm up. And he found us. Thank goodness, because we were getting pretty cold. Maybe we would have made it back to camp eventually. I don't know. But we were really getting lost off the path.
We're still a mile out.
But he found us. It was great. Brought us back. Okay. All right.
Great planning.
My mother used to, I was the youngest brother.
Use that. Good story, Sue.
Yeah, I was the youngest brother of 3 brothers. And the phrase my mother, it was not an easy thing to be. These were 2 big, tough brothers. My mother referred to me as the determined little shit. And I think that's an example of that. You know, when we were lost, I was determined we were not going to die out there. Fortunately, Sue was there. We were both determined little shits, and we got back safely. But
All right. So that's why you're so stubborn.
That's right.
A determined little shit. Okay. I love it.